I know Rob did this in the Korra vlogs, but I'll do it here. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Ahsoka's back! Yay! Hey guys, it is J Star Wars 360 here with another Clone Wars vlog for you. This is Destiny. This is the episode where Yoda continues his search for immortality, and by that I mean just becoming one with the Force, so that way he can come back as a ghost. And this takes him to a planet which is essentially the origin of where the Force comes from. And there he meets these really awesome beings who look really cool and have these awesome voices. And I'm trying to think. Have these awesome voices and basically have Yoda go under these trials to prove his worth and that he is of good heart and that this power is for him and that he's not going to abuse it. And it was a really another wonderful episode. Like, it's stuff like this that makes me really pissed off that the Clone Wars got canceled, because who knows whatever awesomeness we would have gotten out of this show. I mean, when you see stuff like this, this is why I get upset about the crappy episodes, because it's like when you make stuff, because when you say more episodes, I expect everything to be at this level. And I was getting worried that we weren't going to have anything this good, but then we did, and I am so happy. And this is going to be, assuming the next episode's great, this is going to be a wonderful arc closure to the Clone Wars, even if it was unintentional, and possibly my favorite episodes. But let's get into the episode, because, oh my gosh, was it awesome. First off, the Jedi Fortune Cookie. Death is just the beginning. First off, that is really deep for a kid's show, and really interesting. And also there was a cool little transition from the monologue into this episode. So yeah, everything about this episode was awesome. Everything is awesome! Anyway, let me focus. So we have, first off, beautiful animation here. I mean, we have wonderful design of the world, the gas surrounding it, the exterior, the energy flowing out of the world. The interior was just this really cool abstract design that very much was, IGN points out, it's very similar to the Mortis trilogy, and I really liked it. It's cool. I also like, once again, keeping R2 out of this, because R2-D2 is, it would get in the way. But I did like the banner dialogue between him and Yoda. We haven't really seen a lot of that. I mean, we got a bit of it in Empire Strikes Back, but not really. And I think another thing that really is making this arc really good is it's really harkening back to the original trilogy and how we fell in love with Yoda, and how it wasn't about him wielding a lightsaber or anything. It was about these ideologies, the spirituality and connection to the Force, and this arc continues that beautifully. I mean, first off, we have Yoda giving his lightsaber to R2 saying, "I won't need this," which is awesome, because Yoda should not use a lightsaber if he's going on a spiritual journey. It should be about his connection to the Force and his inner self, and I love how they focus on that, not Yoda using a lightsaber. That is just straight up original trilogy right there. Also, they belittle the midichlorians when they're talking about the life force and stuff, and they're saying, as your science calls it, midichlorians. It's almost like Filoni's trying to minimize it as much as possible, and I love it. So yeah, so Yoda has to face these trials to prove his worth. I love these trials, and I love the ideologies behind them. I love how it's not, we're just going to show you a cool trial. No, there's a point to all of them. And it's like journeying into Yoda's self. He's learning stuff about himself, and it's really cool. Let's see. Okay, before I get into it, first off, awesome design on all the spiritual guys. They looked really cool. I love the masks and their various personalities. They're wearing, like, the Greek tragedy masks and their very emotions. That was awesome. But anyway, into the episode itself. First off, the first trial Yoda faces, I really like that. I love Dark Yoda. That was so creepy, like, when you hear Yoda. Tom Kane did an excellent job at that. Tom Kane just does a wonderful job as Yoda in general. Like, some of the actors in the show just nail the voices, and Tom Kane is one of them. So Tom Kane did a wonderful job. Like, I got goosebumps when I heard Dark Yoda. It's kind of similar to how when Dark Ahsoka appeared in the Mortis arc, and you hear Dark Ahsoka's voice, you get chills. Same thing here. I love it. I love the fight. I love how they're using the Force and fight, and they're not just using a lightsaber. I love how it's a spiritual conflict, an internal conflict, and how it's showing that everyone has dark side inside of them and that Yoda has to accept the fact that this does exist in him. I thought that was really clever. I mean, I feel like he figured it out a little too quickly, but at the same time, really cool. The second one, oh my gosh, that was really good. I mean, IGN said it was probably one of the best moments in the Clone Wars. I don't know if it's the best moment. That still, I think, to me, goes to the ending, to the last couple minutes of Season 5 when Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order. But still, really good episode. Again, I really like how it's showing two sides of Yoda. It's showing what Yoda ultimately fears, which unfortunately is going to happen, and Yoda's hopes. This unrealistic hope that unfortunately will not happen. One is, of course, the Jedi being wiped out, which was a really chilling image, really disturbing. Oh yeah, first off, the whole Yoda going through this area and showing no emotion very much reminded me of the season finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the first season, when he has to visit Aang has to visit Koi the Face Stealer, and he has to show no emotion. Although I think Aang was much better at than Yoda, but regardless, really cool scene, really chilling, seeing all these dead bodies. Nice way to work in Ahsoka into that. That was really cool to see. I mean, someone spoiled it on Facebook, but still really cool to see Ahsoka worked in that way. And it shows that Yoda does have fears. And again, that was a clever way to work her into the arc without forcing her in there. I mean, we could have... I mean, Season 5 should be the end of her, but again, that was clever. Really clever way to work her in. Also, again, I do like the idea of Yoda saying, Ahsoka leaving the Jedi and be like, will I die? When I die, will I become one with the Force? Am I still a Jedi? That's really interesting. I'm really curious if Filoni had any other plans for Ahsoka in terms of what she was going to do after the Jedi Order, and hopefully they bring her back for Rebels. I mean, I know it's its own separate entity, but I mean, Legend of Korra is a sequel to Avatar, and they still nod the original show and have references. I mean, Legend of Korra is nowhere near as good as Last Airbender, but it does acknowledge the previous show, but we'll get into that when we get into that. So yeah, courtyard scene, love it. I love how calm, peaceful it was. I loved seeing all these different Jedi together. Especially cool to see was Liam Neeson. And Count Dooku is good, was really cool. It was just a really nice scene, and yeah. So yeah, in case you haven't tell, I just adored this arc episode. And it has me really excited for the next episode, which hopefully will be amazing. Hopefully will be an awesome conclusion to this episode. Even if it wasn't the intended finale, it worked out really nicely. And I'm really excited because we're going to Korriban next. I don't know why they're calling it Morriban, though, but either way, it's really cool. It's something from KOTOR, and I'm really hoping Filoni uses this opportunity to work in something from KOTOR, because I love that game, and I really want to see it. Filoni said he had originally was intending in the Mortis trilogy to have Revan appear, but he felt kind of forced. Maybe we'll get to see Revan next episode, fingers crossed. But regardless, awesome arc. Only wish the rest of the show was like this. Fuck you, Disney, for canceling the Clone Wars, because we could have gotten more of this awesomeness. But either way, this is a really great way to end the Clone Wars, even if it wasn't intentional. And yeah, this is JStar360. Really looking forward to seeing Korriban. But until then, may the Force be with you.